I am Lucas Wenzel. That is a man who doesn't even own a dog and doesn't have to worry about taking it to grooming appointments. That is Cameron Lawrence.
That joke hasn't even come out yet.
No, it hasn't. You're right. Oh my gosh. There you go. You get a sneak peek into tomorrow's podcast episode. We are going to run an Underdog draft here. If you haven't done a draft on Underdog before, we are already drafting for the 2024 season in real time against real people to compete in a 2024 fantasy football league. That is not a joke. Underdog Fantasy has already launched their best ball contests. So Cameron and I decided, hey, my wife is out of town for the night. His wife is working late. Why don't we hop on, have a little fun, drink a brewski or two, and do a best ball draft. So
beautiful.
I honestly don't have any plans to super analytically break this down, maybe a few picks, but really this is about engaging with you all right now and having a little fun tonight.
Yes, sir.
This will be fun. I don't know how many of you have done Underdog drafts before. If you haven't, you totally should. They're a ton of fun. This one was a $10 entry that we're going into. So really most of them are anywhere from between
$3
to $10. Yeah, to 25.
You can go. I think you can go all the way up to 500 if you really want.
Well,
but we
you really want to get high stakes with people, but yeah, that's if you're super serious. But here we go. We got a full lobby.
Beautiful.
You're seeing Cameron's screen right now, but you'll see me in the lobby as well. I have the 102. You'll see me, Lucas FFF there. Cameron has the 106. So we'll go head to head here. And my gosh, look at all these shields in the lobby here. All these verified individuals who have won a ton of money on Underdog.
Gotta love it.
And then there's me and Bobcat 02. Oh, CeeDee Lamb is currently going as a wide receiver 1. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That end of the season, week 8 on, 28.5 fantasy points a game it's hard to pass up on. Did you see the thing too about Dak's contract?
Yes. I saw you send that over on Twitter. Yeah.
If they let him walk, he is $35 million in dead cap in 2025.
Which is insane.
He also has a no trade clause. And they also can't franchise tag him. So he is a Dallas Cowboy moving forward.
Yes, moving forward.
They are absolutely eating a ridiculous amount of money on his contract.
Draft just kicked off here. Yes, Money Man at the 101. If this isn't Christian McCaffrey, I am going to be incredibly shocked. It is Jamar Chase. Don't mind if I do. That makes my pick very,
wow,
very
unreal.
Easy.
All right.
Well, I mean, don't mind if I do. I will gladly take CMC at the 101.
Let's get a Breece Hall pick here, please. Come on, give me Jefferson. There it is.
Oh, he manifested it. Let's
at this. Go. I am so happy.
You're guaranteed a big
Tyreek.
3.
Yep.
You're guaranteed one of the big 3.
That's crazy. Well, that's what we like to see.
So who's your preference at this point?
I mean, obviously, I still take Jefferson, but honestly, I mean, these 3 are going to be right on top of each other in my fantasy rankings, so I'm really not upset about any of these 3. The nice thing about CD and Tyreek is we know who their quarterback's going to be this next year, unless Miami does something crazy, but if they do, it's going to be an upgrade from Tua. Yep. So it's, CD or Tyreek. According to Underdog, it's, the
CD.
Oh, all right. So I go Tyreek here. Not upset about that at all.
I mean, it's a very frankly, I think there's a conversation he should have been the 103.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think him, Tyreek, like obviously I think all those 4 big wide receivers are in that conversation with Christian McCaffrey, but I just can't really see Breece Hall falling past those guys at this point. I understand Breece was fantastic this year.
Right.
Man,
I mean,
pass up on one of those wide receivers feels nuts to me.
I get it because, I mean, you start looking at the running backs come the second round at that point, though.
No, that's true.
I mean, it's, Devon Achane, where, I mean, there's the injury concerns. You have Saquon Barkley, and who knows where he's going to end up this next year. Like, I get it. You just want to take your running back there, but, man, I would find it incredibly hard to pass up on one of those wide receivers, especially in best ball, where they are, they score more than running backs. It's just plain and simple. Yeah, so maybe in that case, you're like, maybe I do get my one running back, my Breece Hall, that I'm confident in. But man, to pass up on one of those three, I don't think I could do it. I wouldn't have the heart to do it.
No, I don't. I agree. I don't think I could either. And you think about it. I don't think Brees really. I mean, obviously, if McCaffrey's hurt, but if McCaffrey's healthy, he's not the running back one. Whereas I think any of those four wide receivers could easily be the wide receiver one.
100%.
And so I think that's a big thing too. If you have the best player at your position, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. DJ Moore is the guy I really want. I'm going to be honest.
He's your guy. He is your guy.
He really has, especially knowing like last year was probably the worst quarterback situation he's going to have for the next couple of years. So, that makes me excited. Let's hope someone gets crazy here.
You got a little bit of a wide receiver run going there.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson and Nico Collins.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
There you go.
Bring it to me again.
He's going to manifest this live. I mean, brand man here. He hasn't taken a wide receiver yet. And there he goes, DJ Moore. So he is unfortunately gone. You do have your choice of Rashee Rice, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, though, if you like any of them.
I think I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk here.
Okay.
And I'm going to bank on the fact that I think he's good if he's on the 49ers, but that there is a chance he finds a team this year where he's the bona fide wide receiver one, just because of the stuff that's kind of transpired after the Super Bowl so far.
Yeah, his contract, his whole situation has just been fascinating to follow. Yeah. It was not one that I was anticipating this offseason, but nonetheless. For sure. Look, I'm gonna just name who I'm hoping for here, and I don't think I'm gonna get him. It's Rashee Rice. I am drinking all the Rashee Rice Kool-Aid this offseason. It's a good start getting Devontae Adams off the board there first. Unfortunately, after Rashee Rice, it's tough. There's two people. I'm going to get one of the two.
Wow.
I'm going to get one of the two that I want. I either want Josh Allen or Rashee Rice. And if I have to make a choice, I think I'm still going to go Rashee Rice and wait on quarterback. But
yeah, I think that's the way I'd go. It's going to be.
I've taken so much Josh Allen though.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a guy there. Well, there we go. They're watching the live. Clearly, he's one of the 13. Excuse me. When we're talking about a guy who's been the quarterback 1 and 3 of the last 4 years, doesn't have a goal line back on his team either. So unless if they go out and sign a goal line threat, or if
they try to do this last
Allen, right. So now I'm back on the clock. I don't like any of these guys really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Stephon Diggs, who has been dominant. The past few years has been dominant in the first half of the season. He's really fallen off in the second half of the season, but in best ball, I will take the points where I can get him in the first half of the season. And if I can rack up, wide receivers, young wide receivers who could potentially break out next year, I'm okay trying to make up for that. But starting with Diggs and Rice and Christian McCaffrey is not the worst start I've ever had in one of these drafts. That is for sure.
I would agree. I think it's very difficult to pass up on that stack too, knowing that
totally is with Josh Allen. Exactly.
Yeah, and my issue taking running backs so far or quarterbacks so far this year early is there's just so many late who are very good. I do understand though, Josh Allen. I mean, you're averaging 5-6 fantasy points a game. Separate. Right. Man, what do I do here?
I was gonna say you're in a tough spot now, having on 2 wide receivers.
Man,
no real running backs worth taking on the board.
And I don't really want to. I like Laporta, but I don't know if I want to take Laporta.
No, I don't like his ADP right now. I think it's too high.
I'm gonna, I want to surprise myself a little. I'm gonna go DK Metcalf here.
Is that an exposure thing? Is that a guy who you actually think could be the best out of that bunch?
That is a guy I think is the best out of the bunch. I think we've seen 2 different seasons so far from DK Metcalf with Geno Smith. We saw the first year he was kind of that blanket wide receiver where he was averaging like 11 yards per reception. This last year is up at 17 yards per reception. He was out targeted by 3 targets to Tyler Lockett. I don't think that keeps happening. I think Tyler Lockett's going to be used less and less. Ty was talking about
the first time that's happened either.
Yep. And Ty's talked about him as a buyout candidate. We saw him get back up to 8 touchdowns this last year. As a wide receiver 3 on my team, I'm really happy with that. I think he's, just going to be solid enough that, I think he could average 17 points a game. I think he's probably going to be closer to like a 13, 14 point per game guy, but still to get that consistently. And he's still a guy who can have some boom weeks. So I do like DK in that situation.
You did have Laporta go afterwards, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman Jr. I think those are all guys I mean, any of those three, basically those last 4 picks, I think we're going to be the next 4 picks off the board regardless. Yeah. What do you think of Laporta's ADP though right now? Like we're talking middle end of the 3rd round.
Yeah, I don't
get a Travis Kelce when you can get. I know Kelce isn't the same, but it's just a little rich for me.
Yes,
how I like to build my teams. It's a little rich for me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't hate like where he's at, like taking a tight end there, but the fact that you can get so many other tight ends later is the big thing, right? It's the fact, like you said, Kelce. I mean, you're scrolling down, you see Mark Andrews at pick 54. You see George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid, 66, 67. So that for me makes it a little more difficult to kind of take that plunge. And even, I mean, Evan Ingram down at tight end 8, right?
Oh,
I mean,
gosh,
he's 100 plus receptions this last year. So it is definitely a little harder for me to justify taking Sam Laporta at that point. Especially when you get close like Evan Ingram, wide receivers are tough to come by.
And that's just been my philosophy is I would much rather take those wide receivers earlier than if I'm getting a true difference maker at tight end. Like I'm not convinced the difference between Trey McBride and Sam Laporta is worth passing on a wide receiver that early. And I know Trey McBride's going as a tight end 3 right now. This is a fairly easy pick for you. You got to take running back with Pacheco off right before Rachaad White.
Yep.
I would go that route as well.
Yeah, I like James Cook, but I think Rachaad White just has, he doesn't have Josh Allen. That's the biggest thing, right? He's going to have touchdown opportunities. He doesn't have a quarterback who's going to run instead of throw a lot of the time. So that's why I go Rachaad White there. I think his role is relatively safe. The Bucs have got to spend money elsewhere if they want to keep Baker, if they want any chance of Mike Evans. So I don't think that his role is really in jeopardy this year.
I hate this spot because at this point the wide receivers are all gone. Keenan Allen was kind of my last hope of an old head that would hang around, but I'm not excited by Zay Flowers. I'm not thrilled with Amari Cooper. I'm not wowed by Jaden Reed. I mean, you got Jordan Addison there. I'd rather not take the shot on Rome Odunze yet. The good news is I'm probably going to have, I'm going to have an abundance of wide receivers available to me. I'm going to take the proven Amari Cooper first and foremost. I think he's still going to be the wide receiver 1 for Deshaun Watson. I just need someone reliable with Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley gone, then Patrick Mahomes. And then I am going to go ahead and take Zay Flowers afterwards. I just have more confidence in him than Jaden Reed in the Baltimore Ravens offense, especially as the primary target getter for Lamar Jackson as well. We saw Zay Flowers have his boom weeks last year, had his lows as well, but guy going into his second year, the clear wide receiver 1 for Lamar Jackson.
100%.
That's kind of where I'm going. Again, you look at Jaden Reed, Rome Odunze. I don't mind Terry McLaurin at 35. I have no clue who his quarterback is going to be, though. And frankly, I don't think they're going to be as good as Lamar Jackson. And when I have Christian McCaffrey, these are the kind of shots I can take at wide receiver and, not worry about taking a James Cook, a Ken Walker, a Josh Jacobs.
For sure.
In this range. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If I get James Cook back here, except for this guy auto picks, and that's going to be a real bummer.
Real bummer.
Oh, thank you. Come on, give me James Cook. Wow, if he falls all the way back to here at 54, 10 spots below ADP, I'm going to be very, very happy.
I mean, that's a steal on James Cook at that point. My gosh, I'm surprised he hasn't. I feel like your range of outcomes with James Cook is very similar to Rachaad White's, though, where they're kind of being drafted towards the top of their value, but yet at the same time, like you get to bet on Josh Jacobs, who doesn't have a team, and Alvin Kamara, who's getting old, and Derrick Henry, who's getting old, and Aaron Jones, who's getting old.
Well,
and there goes James Cook. So, I mean, you could go quarterback. I mean, you could go tight end here if you want.
I think I am going to go tight end. I think I like this is a spot where I really like Mark Andrews.
Yes.
You talk about like Zay Flowers is definitely wide receiver 1, but he hasn't, proven himself as a best target getter in Baltimore yet. Mark Andrews being able to play in that playoff game was big for me. Just the fact that he was able to be healthy again. And, getting him in the 5th round, I feel like he has room where it's not drafting him at his ceiling. That's why I like him there. But yeah, I do think it's very tempting here to take a CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson, just knowing what they can do. And if I would have taken Pittman over DK, I'm all over Anthony Richardson there. even with Pittman being a free agent, it sounds like he's going to get tagged.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But
excuse me, I don't mind that at all. I just think getting Mark Andrews, one of the upper echelon guys in the 5th, is just going to be worth it this year.
Yes,
especially again, you just look at the guys on the board, especially wide receivers. I mean, really, like the amount of fantasy points that Mark Andrews scored more than George Pickens last year, like, like it's kind of laughable, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the obvious pick there. Just take the guy who's going to score more points.
Yeah.
Like let's not overthink this. Let's not overthink roster construction. Let's just take the guy who's going to score the most points, and that's Mark Andrews in that range.
100%, and it gets really tough too because like I don't always want to go wide receiver early, like I don't want to build up, but you're forced to in these best ball drafts at this point because everybody's doing that. So if you wait, I mean, you're sitting on wide receiver like George Pickens. If you wait till the 6th round, he's probably your wide receiver too. If you're like really trying to build out your team early, and that's just like. George Pickens could be just fine this year, but I don't think he's going to be a top 15 guy. Like you're not going to be excited for him to be higher on your team as far as wide receivers go.
No, and I mean, it really goes to show how many people, when we post an underdog draft on any of our social pages, and it really goes to show people like, oh man, this team stinks. And it's like, hop in one of these drafts and check out where these ADPs are, because if you think, with the way people are all over wide receivers, when people are drafting 3 in the first 4 rounds, and you're at, the wide receiver 30 by the 4th round, right? It's like, that's, it just goes to show who's in on these drafts and who isn't. If you aren't yet, look, do it. It's a lot of fun. Code Fellas and Underdog Fantasy, that'll unlock $100 first deposit match for you as well.
Reach down here a little.
Do it. Who are you taking?
Tony Pollard.
Ooh.
I think he's going to be good enough on whatever team he ends up on to return value. And I think Monty's probably the safest pick here as far as running backs go.
The safest, yes. Safest is the appropriate word.
But I'm going to shoot a little bit for upside. Ramondre might have been the better pick, but I'm going to go Pollard there. I was thinking Dak or Burrow. I would, at this point, I think I'm going to wait and try to get the stack with either probably grab Tua and then maybe go another late quarterback with some upside.
Sure.
Is kind of where I'm at, but I haven't truly decided. Sorry, I cut you off in the middle of your promo.
Hey, cool fellas. Unlock $100 deposit bonus when you sign up. And you can get in on drafts like this with us. We're going to try going live a little bit more with these picks or with these drafts during the off season. I'm going to go ahead. I am going to take David Montgomery here as my running back too. It's the touchdowns. I think those are going to be sticky with him. More than the average running back. I'll see what kind of a spot I'm in when the turn comes back to me here, because there's not a lot of wide receivers I love here. Drafting in February is wild. It really is. But that's why we love fantasy football, because we are drafting in February. Good thing it's best ball. We won't be able to make any trades or anything with this, right? This is a submit our entry, set it and forget it. We'll see how much we bring in at the end of the season, but it is wild. I will not tell you that it is not. We are a little bit crazy by drafting in February, but this is the life we have chosen, and we love it. We love our friends over at Underdog. Again, Code Fellas will give you a first deposit match up to $100. Should be a link in the description of whichever live you're watching over on Facebook or YouTube. The good news is either player that I want is not going to be taken here. A double tight end, Kincaid and Kittle.
Ooh.
I mean, that makes my pick a lot easier. I
thought this was easy.
I'm having second thoughts. I'm going to take the explosion guy.
All right.
Considering it's best ball. I don't like DeAndre Hopkins in Tennessee. I don't want to have to trust DeAndre Hopkins. Chris Godwin, after what we saw last year, Mike Evans might leave, but in the slot, there's just a lot of uncertainty in Tampa. I know there's uncertainty in the Green Bay wide receiver room, but man, we saw when Christian Watson was on the field this last year, he was kind of nice. He made some big explosion plays. So, where Stephon Diggs may collapse in the second half of the season, I might be able to pick up a few games here and there with Christian Watson, excuse me. Give me a few explosion games with the emergence of Jordan Love.
I'm going to be honest. I'm back in on Christian Watson at this point this year. I mean, just because of where the ADP
Thought he was
is.
Chase Claypool.
He was, but and
I mean, you weren't wrong to some extent.
so but last year a lot of it had to do with the unprovenness of Jordan Love. A lot of it had to do with, but he showed this year when he's in the game, he's really, really dynamic. He's good. Jordan Love showed that he took a huge step forward. Matt LaFleur showed that he can really call a game without Rodgers. I think there's just too much to like. Oh gosh. Well, I gotta take Dak.
You're in a gross spot now.
I'm taking Dak. I don't even care. Like, this is too low to not have him on a team. Having Pollard, I don't think Pollard's a shoe-in to be a Cowboy next year by any means, but at the same time, the potential stack, but just having Dak there, a guy you can, be the quarterback one that I can get in the 7th round. I don't think he's going to, but I do think he has that potential. Probably
we saw it already. I mean,
probably closer to like a top 3 finish, but still getting that in the 7th round, I'm pretty happy with.
Oh, I would be as well.
But yeah, going back Christian Watson, I just think at this point, I mean, he's a wide receiver 40, 41 off the board.
Yeah.
I'll
take that shot all day.
100, especially in best ball. Like you said, if he gives you 5 or 6 weeks at this point where it's 20, 25 plus, you're very, very happy with taking Christian Watson.
I think you just look at the other wide receivers in the range. I mean, you got to scroll down, not a lot, but outside of DeAndre Hopkins, then you're looking at Cortland Sutton, who's touchdown dependent, Deontay Johnson, who doesn't have a quarterback right now, Jacoby Myers, who's the wide receiver too, Jamison Williams, who still has a lot to freaking prove, Josh Downs, Troy Franklin, Mike. Christian Watson has the chance to give me 20. I don't know if any of those guys do after that. Yeah. Maybe Mike Williams on a good week, Jamison Williams, but like Christian Watson outside of DeAndre Hopkins and J-Mo on a absolutely dynamite day and Mike Williams on a dynamite day, assuming he's perfectly healthy off of an ACL. So everyone can give me 20 plus. Yeah,
it really, like, I mean, that's what we're in the round 7, and it feels dry at the wide receiver position.
It's dry. It's welled up. If you're sitting at 3 wide receivers right now, that's not a spot I want to be in.
I know. I'm at 3. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, and this is part of the reason I sit on quarterback. I mean, you got Justin Fields, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, all still on the board. And it does make me like think about, man, I could have gone Ramondre, James Conner a little bit, right? Instead of taking Dak. And I kind of just jumped on, getting Dak there. But it is interesting right now, to say the least, what the board looks like. There's a lot of different ways for me to go here. I think I'm going to hold on quarterback. I don't feel the need to double up, especially because I really want to grab Tua later.
If you're going to take 2 quarterbacks here, yep.
So I'm a little interested in Raheem Mostert. I'm going to be honest at this point.
I don't blame you. I would be too at this point.
Just because, I mean, man, you think his production is cut in half from last year. He still has double-digit touchdown upside, right? It's like,
right.
Man, it's interesting. And like you said, there's just no one at the wide receiver position. So I am going to go Raheem Mostert here.
I don't hate this pick at all. I actually really like it.
I think that really rounds up my team. It gives me just, the ability to have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a QB.
Yep. Lions fan, PFP gives it away. I'd be all over J-Mo for next year. Like, I kind of don't hate J-Mo next year, but he's not a guy I'm looking to lock in as like my wide receiver 3. Maybe a wide receiver 4. He's a guy I would like to have, as a long shot, as a wide receiver 5. I love it in best ball. Best ball, I'm happy to take the shot on him. But, at this point, as my wide receiver 4, I would rather wait if he's my wide receiver 5. That's kind of where I'm at with him.
He feels like a guy that every year we're going to be like, oh, could this be the year for J-Mo?
Yeah, right.
Gives you these great weeks, and then it just doesn't fully come to fruition. I really hope it does, but
I really hope it does. This is true. Josh Reynolds isn't coming back either. He is on the market. I need to take a tight end here. The picking is ripe. The question is it David Njoku or your guy Kyle Pitts? But
you know who to take.
It's David Njoku.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Give me 1 second. My cat's about to eat a plant, and I can't let her eat a plant. Cat, get off the desk.
Elliot BR Clips, thank you for joining us. Thank you for
yo. What up? I'm on the clock. Oh, son of a gun! Somebody did jump on JMO.
Back-to-back tight ends here.
He did. Oh my gosh! Right as okay, all right. You know what? Maybe I'm in a little bit of a frenzy here. Double tight end. I don't hate it at this point.
I don't mind it either. Actually, I mean, then you can kind of just be done with tight end for the rest of the time.
I'm done with tight end. I'm not touching it. I am not touching it the rest of the draft.
100%.
I want nothing to do with it. I would rather take long shots on guys. I still need to fill out the running back position as the only downfall, but a lot of the guys on the board, they're not worth reaching for at this point. I would have needed to taken them earlier. So I don't want to take Brock Purdy as my quarterback too. I can wait a little bit longer, especially with Josh Allen. Like, what's the point? So I think I was kind of pinned into taking double quarterback there, or double tight ends there. But
yeah.
Where are you looking to go here? You're pretty balanced. You got 1-3-3-1. You're perfectly balanced here. What are you going to do to break that balance?
I don't love any wide receivers, so I think what I might go do is get Tua here to finish the stack. Now having Mostert and Tyreek Hill, just kind of solidifying that upside for my team and realizing when I come back around, I see pretty much all these wide receivers in the same tier, and just hoping that one of them is left. So I'm going to go Tua here, kind of, because he would have been my next pick, but I think that there's enough on the board that one of these wide receivers that I'm going to be okay with taking is going to be there when it comes back to my pick.
Yeah, I mean, how big is the gap between Tyler Lockett and Cortland Sutton?
Exactly.
Let's be honest. Like that's how I'm looking at this range. There's definitely a few guys in here that I would rather not take, such as where is he on here? Like a Keon Coleman. I would just rather take one of the proven guys instead of a Keon Coleman. I would honestly rather take any of those guys ahead of Khalil Shakir. But again, the gap, if Tyler Lockett is the worst prize you get there, I don't hate this range, if I'm being perfectly honest.
This guy,
I don't hate this range. I'm okay with any of these wide receivers.
The wide receiver 57 right now is a guy I'm thinking about taking a shot on, and Jerry
He's
Jeudy.
57? Oh, I'm going to be in on him in best. I'm trying to get over Jerry Jeudy, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get over him. Freaking A, man. If he's at 57, I'm going to have to draft him, aren't I?
Yeah, and that's
pissed,
where I'm at I think.
I need running backs, though. I got to remember. I need running backs. And this is just such a gross range, too. I mean, you're not excited to take anybody in this range. Like, this is the point where you almost have to start drafting for upside instead of fantasy points, if that makes sense. Which is, I think, what a lot of people forget about in best ball.
Yeah, man. That's why I think, he ends up on a fun team.
Get a load of this guy. He's out here. Ty, why aren't you even on the live stream? I made it work. You got another grooming appointment or what? For your dog?
Jeez.
You're not going to live that down. I am sorry. Only because we love you.
That is crazy. It would be rough if all of a sudden we realized Tyler's in this draft and he's just sniping players from us.
He's actually T-Felt. He's got a whole separate sandbagging account that I didn't realize.
Huge Keon Coleman guy. That would be Ty taking Keon Coleman right there.
That would be Ty taking Keon Coleman.
Huge Keon Coleman guy, Mr. Tyler Plath. Tyler does all of our mock drafts, and Keon Coleman is his favorite player. He has considered.
He's got a wide receiver one.
Considered having him going higher than Marvin Harrison Jr. at this point. I'm just kidding. Tyler is about.
Keep coming at us, Ty. We got you.
Tyler is about as out on Keon Coleman as you can be.
That's actually true. That is very true. He just told us that.
He probably thinks of him closer to Quentin Johnson than anything. So this is just
slanderous. It is.
There's nothing else for us to do.
Hop on and prove yourself then.
All right,
we'll increase it to 3.
I'm doing it. I'm taking Jerry Jeudy so that you don't.
You bum.
Well, then you don't have to worry about it, right?
That's true. I don't have to think about it. I just gotta take running backs.
Amen, brother. Oh, Tyler, you have doubled the amount of comments we've gotten on this one video.
Attaboy.
SEO at its finest. Let's see.
I'm.
Oh, here's a guy I want to ask you about.
You know what, Ty, old habits do die hard. You're 100% right.
I do want to ask you.
Go ahead, ask me.
I do want to ask you about TJ Hawkinson.
Yes, please do, because he's sitting there and he's begging me to take him.
Would you take a flyer on TJ Hawkinson, or are you just going, this guy could be out till week 8. I don't want anything to do with it.
Had I known that TJ Hawkinson would still be on the board right now
Mhm.
at my next pick, assuming Wes Welker. Hi, Wes Welker. I didn't even realize I was Wes Welker. Assuming Wes Welker, now Bobcat 02 doesn't take him. I would have taken a running back instead with my last pick, and I would have waited to take TJ Hawkinson here to pair with David Njoku. I didn't think he'd be on the board at this point.
Mhm.
I really didn't. I mean, he's fallen almost 20 spots past ADP now. Like, he's still on the board. I'm really tempted because do you know how loaded I would be at tight end then? But the problem is that with David Njoku and Kyle Pitts, I just don't need to.
Yep.
Which sucks because if I had known TJ Hawkinson would have been here, I would have taken DeAndre Swift with my last pick. Old habits die hard, Ty. Yes, they do.
I knew that's where you were going.
I'm not quitting Jahan Dotson.
I would have judged you so hard if you went out of the other way. I would have judged you so hard.
I can't quit Jahan Dotson. Also, why is I don't understand why Ty Chandler is this low in drafts. I can't fathom it. He's the clear running back 1 in Minnesota in my eyes as Vikings fans. If Alexander Mattison is still the guy, after what Ty Chandler did at the end of last season, it boggles my mind that he's the running back 36. I feel like he should be closer in the top 30. Definitely ahead of Devin Singletary, ahead of Roshan Johnson. Who are other guys that went before him? I think ahead of Jonathan Brooks. Absolutely. Jonathan Brooks is coming off of an ACL tear.
Yeah.
He's not even going to get second round capital, I don't think. Breece Hall, let's remember, Breece Hall got second round capital.
Mm-hmm.
And he was perfectly healthy. So I don't that doesn't make any sense to me. Who else is in that range? Underdog, Chuba Hubbard. I don't get that one. DeAndre Swift, I get, but he doesn't have a team. Chase Brown. No way Chase Brown went ahead of him. Was that a reach? Is that a Bengals fan?
It might be. I can't quit Mike.
I mean, his ADP is 108.5. So it really wasn't. He's still going ahead of Ty Chandler. I don't get Ty Chandler's ADP. I'm gonna have an unhealthy amount of shares of Ty Chandler this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm fine taking him there as my running back 3, especially after CMC and David Montgomery. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm basically looking for a running back 2 at that point. Sorry, rant on Ty Chandler over. Back to Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, I'm
not quitting Jahan Dotson. I'm really not. I'm contributing that to Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not quitting Mike Will. I
wouldn't either.
And he might be on a new team this next year, but man, he got injured early enough in the year where I think he's gonna be back. And I mean, I think he's probably got one more year left, maybe not. But he's a guy I'm willing to take a risk on, especially this late. I'm really hoping Dalton Schultz stays there for me for my tight end too.
Oh gosh, that would be. You just had to say something. I mean, no, because he's a guy that I'm targeting a ton as my tight end too this year. If I'm looking to go more of the tiered approach to the tight end, right, where you get one of your top guys, but then you want to layer a few guys in afterwards. Like Dalton Schultz is the guy I'm ideally targeting because I think he does still possess top 12 upside in that Texans offense. That's going to continue to run through CJ Stroud.
Man, I feel like I should have gone running back earlier. I do not like anybody on this board right now.
I mean, you've got 3, so really anybody at this point, you're hoping you're running back 2 week every once in a while.
I don't really know what I want to do here. I'm going to be honest. I only got 10 seconds. That's not great. I'm going to actually go to them. I'm going to take Pat Freiermuth.
Okay. I don't hate that.
I'm going to hope that Arthur Smith looks at him and sees the next John M. Smith. But
he might. Let's be honest.
I'm just looking for a guy who's going to put up a decent amount of points for when, if Mark Andrews has an off week or, is on bye. So that's really what it comes down to for Freiermuth there. Running backs, Ford I thought about, I didn't love. And so I don't know. That was a pick I wasn't in love with anyway it would have went. So that's kind of where I am with that.
Jerome Ford, go shoot. I was eyeing him on the comeback.
What's his name? Jaleel McLaughlin's interesting to me still.
He is. He's a guy I'm intrigued by. I still think Javonte is the one, but
yeah,
I'm at least intrigued by Jaleel McLaughlin. Shoot, play Corum did go. He was going to be my next pick. I was going to take a shot on the rookie. Oh, and Aaron Rodgers was my other pick that I was considering too. That's wonderful. They're
telling you no.
I don't know why people think Roschon Johnson is hot stuff. I mean, he's a nice little player, but frankly, I don't think it's locked and loaded that he is the running back one in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would still prefer Khalil Herbert. I get wanting to go with Roschon Johnson, but I'm fine taking Khalil Herbert at that price point, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now the running backs are thin. I'm really not excited for anybody on the board.
You take Deshaun to pair with Amari?
Yeah, and I think that's the route I am going to go.
And Njoku, right?
And Njoku. I can't wait much longer on quarterback 2, honestly, for Josh Allen. Because at that point, we're looking at the Baker Mayfields, we're looking at Geno Smith, we're looking at Daniel Jones. Again, understanding Josh Allen is my quarterback 1, and he's going to be my starting quarterback in best ball 16 out of 7 or 17 out of 17 weeks that he can play. But on the 1 week that he's on bye, I need somebody. I think I'd just rather have Deshaun Watson to pair with, like you said, Amari Cooper and David Njoku. So I think that's kind of a no-brainer there for me, given the board. Who are you thinking here? This is just
I don't know.
Again, we're getting to call your shots on whoever.
I'm going to be honest. I'm either between Brandon Cooks, just because I got Dak right now, or looking at Braylon Allen, taking a shot on a rookie
touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's what I think I might do. Just a shot that he finds just a role this year, right? I think rookie running backs later, I like taking shots on them, especially compared to like rookie wide receivers. Because I think there's very, very few guys. I mean, Puka Nacua, there's no other Puka Nacuas at that point. The guys that are that good, and just later round wide receivers in general, I think it's very slim, like very few Tank Dells. Whereas I think running backs are more likely to kind of carve out that role taken later. So I don't know. We'll see. That might be, end up being a wasted pick, right? He might just go be a backup somewhere. But
I mean, who else are you going to take?
Shots on. Yep.
You're going to take Zach Moss, who's playing behind Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Algier, who's going to be behind Bijan Robinson. You're going to take Keaton Mitchell, who's coming off ACL tear. Marshawn Law. I mean,
and I want to take Keaton Mitchell, I'm going to be honest, but he just got hurt so late in the year.
I know that's the problem. I couldn't justify it coming off ACL that late in the year. I just don't think it's going to be the same dynamite guy that we saw. I just don't.
If he's still there, I'm going to take him. You talked me into it, saying that you were thinking about it.
Which is fine. I mean, you go ahead, because I still think there's a handful of running backs I would take at this point. But really realizing none of them are going to pan out for me. So. Yeah,
Tyler Algier is another one, just because, like
there might be a role.
And if Bijan gets hurt at all, I mean, that's a huge role for Tyler Algier. Same with Elijah Mitchell.
You keep his name out of your mouth.
But I think I'd rather take Keaton Mitchell, hoping that, maybe we get 5-6 weeks down the stretch where he just, is able to come back, have some sort of role, be dynamic, than not hoping, but, being ready in case there is an injury to one of these stud running backs.
I mean, and that at this point, that's honestly not a bad bet, because if you took a late shot on Jerome Ford last year, you benefited greatly in best ball. I mean, flat out. Not that Jerome Ford was a stud, but I mean, he was giving you plenty of top 24 running back weeks. So he was a running back 2 on your team most week. It was just a matter of who your stud running back 1 ended up being. They do hold value this late in the draft. And frankly, at running back, you're not going to find Puka Nacuas, right? That were going undrafted. You're not going to find them. So some of these handcuffs are useful. And striking gold on some of these guys are more difficult. There you go. You could take Keaton Mitchell. He's all yours.
Yeah, and like I think at this point too, right? I've got 2 quarterbacks that I trust in Dak and Tua, and I got 2 tight ends that at least one tight end I really trust, Mark Andrews, and Freiermuth's decent enough that I don't feel any pressure to take a quarterback or tight end rest of the draft.
Yeah. Again, you look at the quarterbacks and tight ends in this range; they're just so ugly, man.
They are.
I'm sticking with my Njoku and Kyle Pitts. I'm not drafting another tight end.
No, I mean that is gross. Looking down at
the grossest of
right
gross.
now, quarterbacks. I mean,
Boom! Sorry, I really wanted Marvin Mims to fall to me.
I like it.
On the off chance Jerry Jeudy
I like
gets
it.
traded. I'm sneaky like Marvin Mims.
I don't hate it at all.
I'm gonna have such high exposure to him. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll take Elijah Mitchell here to secure my handcuff with Christian McCaffrey. Not that I'm expecting him to be all that healthy, but on the off chance I lose my 102, I'd rather have his handcuff in place than not. Sorry, I got way too excited about Marvin Mims, but I'm like, if this guy doesn't fall to me, I'm going to be upset because now I feel great about my wide receiver room with Diggs, Amari, Zay Flowers, Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson, Marvin Mims. Again, it doesn't sound all that great, but when you go Christian McCaffrey in the first round, you lose the luxury of essentially taking a top 15 wide receiver with how early they're going in best ball.
Did you realize Brandon Cooks had 8 touchdowns last year?
I mean, he had a stretch where he scored like 4 in 2 games or 4 in 3 games.
It's still wild to me that Brandon
He's sprinkling 4 more across 15 games.
Yeah,
so
I think
he went on. He had his hot stretch, which is why that number is at 8.
I think he might be my pick here, just to add to that Dallas stack.
He's dropped 40 picks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there he is.
He's dropped 40 picks. You have to at this point.
I'll take him. I'm going to be honest with the next guy I want. I haven't fully given up on him is Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
I probably should.
You probably should.
Should quit it like a bad habit, but I have not given up on Treylon.
But again, you look at these guys in that range, really, like Trey Palmer, Devontae Walker, Jalen. I'm sneaky like Jalen.
I don't hate that either. I mean,
he
had no chance.
No chance. Not with Tommy Cutlass. Yeah, I'm going to give up on my New York accent forever.
Mingo? Do you got any interest in Mingo down?
No, not really. That's more of I need to see it from Bryce Young first thing than it is a Mingo thing.
Juwan Jennings if Ayuk leaves.
Okay. Sell me on it, please.
Darnell Mooney if they bring in Caleb Williams.
If they bring in Caleb Williams, who can I talk you into here? But I mean, so this is a point now. If you're one of the 2 people watching, look, we're appreciative of the 2 of you who are here. Thank you so much. I know I laugh, but it's just funny as I feel like I'm about to make like a quality statement, and there's only 2 people to listen to it. Before I do, you are going to go Treylon Burks here. This is the point in best ball drafts. If you're new to best ball drafts, ceiling and potential. To me, Tyler Boyd is dead. Tyler Boyd is dead to me here. Mm-hmm. I don't want Tyler Boyd because he doesn't provide me anything. He doesn't provide me any upside. Because not only, T. Higgins could leave, sure, but Tyler Boyd's a free agent too, right? Like, of course, Jalen Hyde freaking went, man. Freaking Zay Jones, he doesn't mean a lot to me here. So, like, I am looking at, with 5 running backs and 6 wide receivers, my quarterbacks and tight ends set in place. Like, I am going to look for guys who do have hidden upside potentially. How about this? How about Noah Brown? I know he's coming off of ACL, isn't he?
Was it ACL? Let me look that up.
I'm checking the news report right now. No, it was a shoulder injury. Okay, so Noah Brown's a guy I could still get excited about, even with Nico Collins, Tank Dell in the offense. I know he was mostly relevant with one of them out. But with what we saw last year, really, you expect me to take him over Malik Washington and Andre oh my gosh, Isovias? My goodness, I couldn't spit that name out.
You are on the clock, by the way.
Oh, I am on the clock. Well, thanks for reminding me. Mingo! I
was wondering. I was like,
Mingo!
Does he know? I didn't want to. Ooh.
Tyler Boyd of the Steelers. Depends. If Deontay is there, I hate it. If Deontay is indeed traded, I'm more open to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. It doesn't excite me by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't like. What is his ADP in best ball right now? What are we looking at? 80s, right?
Yeah.
Might shoot up to what? 65.
Oh,
shoot up.
One I like here.
It's such a ugly. I mean, again, AJ Dillon. He is down this far. So he is a free agent, isn't he?
Yeah, so maybe you can find a role where he's just rolling in the end zone for touchdowns. That's kind of what I'm hoping with that pick there.
Oh gosh, I'm an idiot. I'm a freaking idiot. Guarantee the guy I want isn't going to make it back to me. Wait a second. Hold on. I got to check something here.
Got to make sure. Got to figure out why he's that low.
Yeah, that's 100% what it is. I'm like, wait, what am I missing here?
What do I got? I got 2.
Okay, all right. I'm very confused why this player's ADP is so low. I don't want to say it because you're going to take him then.
No,
this is the problem of us being in a draft together.
I think I am going to go quarterback here. I think I might take.
Or are you going to go a third one?
I think I might take Geno, but I'm not 100%. Just because I have Metcalf, but I also don't know if I should be taking someone just because I have their wide receiver.
Just because you have Metcalf, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Hunter Henry also interests me too. Just as a touchdown.
Is he still New England? His contract isn't up, right?
No. I think he's got one more year.
Yeah, he's got one more year. He was 3 year, 37.5. No, he is a free agent.
Oh, all right. Not as interesting.
He is a free agent. He was 2021, 2022, 2023. So he is a free agent.
I think I'm going to go running back or wide receiver here. Man, who do I want? Who does Lucas want? Who can I figure it out? Is it your guy Zeke?
Oh, it doesn't matter. He's off the board. Doesn't matter.
Who are you looking at?
Looking at Kenny Gainwell. Swift getting free agency.
No, I don't hate that.
That's mostly what it was.
Honestly, I've been shooting touchdown upside on these running backs. I think I'm gonna do it again with Zeke and just hope maybe he finds a
home for touchdowns.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't love it. It's disgusting, but I did it.
The board is just so gross, man.
My 2772 build. I can go here then.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be, looking at. Oh, I guess I have 8 wide receivers already, so I shouldn't be taking any more wide receivers, should I? Which sucks because I really do like taking late shots on wide receivers. So here we go. Here's what we're looking at. We only got 2 rounds left in the draft. We only got 2.5 rounds left.
I didn't realize we still had 2 rounds left.
Oh yeah, we got 2 rounds left.
There was one. My bad.
No, I know they increased that last year.
I thought that was our last pick.
Nope. We got 2 more rounds yet. We got 2 more rounds, my friend.
All right.
I do know who my next pick is going to be. Gosh, Kat, get off the table. Hey, don't you love it when
we got some
pets don't cooperate?
We got some craziness. Ty would know all about that.
Yeah, he would know all about that, wouldn't he?
I bet.
He would know all about that.
Ooh, see that question pop up? I don't hate that one.
Where do you think Kirk will go? Let me make my pick of Alexander Madison first.
I'll show him.
Oh, where do you think Kirk will go? You first.
I think he's back with Minnesota. I think they figure it out. I think they want it. I think they want to make sure Jefferson's happy.
I agree.
I think they got to figure it out. Where else would he go? I don't know. I honestly
think Washington's in contention. I really want to say Washington's in contention. The problem is,
would you really rather not have Drake May?
Yeah, right. Would you rather just start a rebuild? Golly, this is such a gross spot, man. I hate everybody here. I literally hate everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freaking be auto picked because I can't make up my mind. It's fine, I'll let it auto pick for me. I was too focused on trying to find landing spots for Kirk. Will Levis. All right, Mayo Man.
Beautiful.
All right, we're riding.
I think I might go rookie quarterback here.
I mean, I don't hate it at this point, honestly. Because what happens if Josh Allen does get injured and Deshaun Watson's my only quarterback, or vice versa?
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad insurance to have, but
not ideally
how I want to spend one of my last few picks here.
What do we think about the what if Kirk doesn't go back to the Vikings? Do you think the 49ers entertain? Bringing in Kirk Cousins.
No, Brock Purdy there. I don't think they do. I think Atlanta is the other likely spot. With them at 7, they could use 7
Yeah.
on so many different picks then. So
Romo
if it's not Minnesota, I think it's probably going to be Atlanta.
JJ.
JJ McCarthy find himself in a starting role this year. I don't hate it. What's good? Devious dog.
I almost said Devin, but that's definitely devious, not Devin.
That's definitely devious, not Devin. Good try though.
It's like Devin, my guy. It's not Devin.
Thanks for popping by. We just in the middle of wrapping up a draft here. We'll finish here in the next probably 5-10 minutes or so. We'll go through our teams at the end if you're just joining us now. I'm subbed. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to see. Thanks for the support. We're super grateful for your support over on the YouTube channel. As that's continuously growing as we're meshing in new content. What you can't see right now is my cat literally rubbing her face on everything in sight. Oh yeah, can you hear her meow? You want to say hi? Say what's up. Mike's yours.
We are a animal friendly podcast.
You're pretty talkative off the mic. What's up?
Sage right. Peter's gonna be all
Hers
over
is
you.
sub too. Thank you so much, y'all. We appreciate you over on YouTube. We really do.
We truly do.
We really, really do. Who are guys in this range that you're willing to just throw a dart on?
Absolutely no one.
Well, I mean, like, let's dig down the board. It feels like at this point you got to start looking at the guys who are going undrafted. We start seeing the guys, with the 239.9 ADP, right? These are the guys who are all undrafted in the 239.8. Like all these guys are going undrafted at this point. So who are some of these guys, that you're potentially looking at throwing a dart at that have any semblance of upside for you? Because like the Trey Tuckers don't interest me. The Odell Beckhams don't, not at this age. I'm looking past all those guys. I'm looking for younger guys who could explode onto the scene.
Yeah, and I think our friend of the show, who am I thinking? What's his name?
A friend of the show.
Oh my gosh! No, I just there we go. That's what I was looking for. Hayden Winks.
It was an underdog.
Just talking about at the end of your draft, scrolling down and taking shots on these guys that other people aren't. Right, just giving some uniqueness to your roster, and I really like that. I don't hate taking a shot on Rondale Moore still.
I can't quit him.
Dang it! I don't blame you, Cedric Tillman. I mean, he could be the wide receiver 2 this year. Maybe he kind of breaks out a little bit. I don't hate that. There's really not many running backs I'm a fan of at this point. Sky Moore, I think that ship has sailed. Jalen Tolbert, MBS, John Mechie, not a huge fan of.
Cedric Tillman, he on your board at all?
Yeah,
he's one that I'm willing to take a shot on.
I think that's what I'm taking
made my
here.
List. Yeah, he definitely just scroll past him. He's at 113. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, he's definitely someone in this range that I'm willing to take a shot on. The younger guy, Noah Gray. Yeah, if you are desperate for a tight end, I don't hate that either. Like I'm gonna start getting real nasty and scrolling down the board here. I am a little bit further than I'd like to be, though, if I'm being quite honest. I'm like way down here. So I'm gonna be on the clock in 2 picks. I am gonna take a wide receiver. I'll at least spoil that. Sky Moore, are we done with him? We done with Sky Moore?
I am. I just don't see it, I think, at this point.
I'm just. Do you think the Bears trade back? No, not from 1. I do think they take Caleb Williams. I just think it's the financially responsible thing to do. You Cedric Tillman. I'll take David Bell.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Similar draft capital. David Bell's been in the league for a year longer, but I'll at least take the shot on that one, and that is my last pick. We'll run through our teams here very quickly before we sign off. But Eric Gray, sorry. I was gonna say I'm like Noah Gray. I feel like he should just
combining names.
Eric Gray, yeah.
Noah Gray's the
Noah Gray's a tight end.
Kansas City tight end. You're right.
I'm like, wait a second. I mean, maybe, but if you're really desperate for a tight end and just need a shot in the dark. Let's do it because we have some people hanging out here who hopped on late game. Let's do a quick recap of our teams, and then I know you and I have an evening to enjoy here, even though we love spending it with our followers. Go for it. Why don't you give a quick rundown of your team? You were at the 106.
106.
Honestly, a strong start. I think.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first 5, 6, 7 rounds of your draft here.
Yeah, I was very happy with how it went. I went Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, built out that wide receiver. That was something we talked about. I mean, you look at all that orange that's just on that board to start. That's all wide receivers.
Yeah.
And so it gets pretty thin pretty quick. Then I went Rashad White, Mark Andrews, Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott, Raheem Mostert. Added Tua to get that Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill stack. Went Jerry Jeudy, Mike Williams, two guys that we talked about kind of getting back in again on this year. Pat Freiermuth, Braylon Allen, Keaton Mitchell, Brandon Cooks, Treylon Burks, AJ Dillon, Ezekiel Elliott, JJ McCarthy, and Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, so you really see these drafts start to thin out, especially a wide receiver super quickly. Like the fact you're in the 6th round and you're looking at Christian Kirk. Granted, wide receiver 4 for Fieldman 77, but it gets thin real quick. Like you don't have the luxury of waiting until the 6th round to take an Amari Cooper, a Jordan Addison, which I think in redraft this year, I think you are going to see those guys in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Addison last year was a 10th round pick in redraft. He's going to 4th round in best ball. I mean, these wide receivers fly off the board so early, so you've got to jump on them. And you have the luxury of taking a Rashad White, a Tony Pollard, a Raheem Mostert as your running back 3, who could, let's not kid ourselves. He could still be the running back 1 in Miami.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Where's Tony Pollard going? Yeah, you'll see him literally right about the comment here, pick 67. That is about middle of the 6th round, which is fascinating. Z-Dude, what up, man? We just finished a best ball draft here. We'll do more of these in the future. I enjoy these personally, where Cameron and I just kind of get to sit and shoot the breeze with one another.
Got a lot.
I'm done with my second beer here, so who knows? Maybe I'll get crazy one night. It'll be rum and Coke instead or something, but we'll save that for another night. Maybe never. I don't think you want to see me too buzzed up on alcohol. That would not be responsible of me. Money chance so high. I think people perceive him as the new running back 1 in Miami.
Yep.
That's frankly the primary reason why. I don't think it's necessarily we saw his explosions, right? When he was so freaking dynamite on the field, man. But I mean, the fact that he can lead all running backs in yards after contact per attempt last year, the fact that he averaged 7.8 yards per carry of all running backs with at least 100 attempts. The man's dynamite waiting to happen. So, I will not be drafting any Devon Achane in best ball. I will not. Not at the price point at which he's going at, which is early 2nd round, even late 1st, depending on where you take him. That dude quick. He is fast.
You're not wrong. I'll give you that one. You're not wrong.
So yeah, I will not be taking any of him, not at that price point. But I mean, if he does fall to me, if he would have fallen to me at the 211, I probably would have taken him there. No, that's false. If I didn't have Christian McCaffrey, I probably would have taken him there.
Yeah.
Which I'll segue into my pick. Christian McCaffrey, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I did also see Breece Hall being overdrafted. I don't disagree, especially when you have. I mean, we talked about this at the top. We were shocked when Breece Hall went 3 because that opened Cameron to any of Jefferson, Lamb, or Tyreek Hill, which I would be thrilled to have any of those guys at 6. Frankly, I'd be happy with Breece Hall at 6. And I didn't even consider taking Amon-Ra ahead of him at 6, which is crazy. Yeah. Just with how early we see these wide receivers go in best ball. So yeah, I don't disagree with that necessarily. But I took Christian McCaffrey. He did not go at the 101. So I took him at the 102. That was kind of a no-brainer for me. I'll just take the luxury there. Josh Allen, then again, another luxury pick, which kind of forced me to going wide receiver again. Seeing how much orange is in those early rounds, I had to go 3 wide receivers in a row there. So when Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Zay Flowers, Zay Flowers, I think, could have a nice little sophomore leap this next year. Then took David Montgomery as a running back 2. Christian Watson, again, best ball. 20-point weeks. He's in my lineup every week. Went back-to-back tight ends here. I just didn't love the board. I probably should have taken DeAndre Swift as a running back 3, but I have no clue where he's going to end up. That's the problem. I don't know where he's going to end up, what his role is going to be. So I took back-to-back tight ends there. I did take Njoku, Kyle Pitts. J-Mo was going to be the pick. But then went guy you can't quit, Jahan Dotson. The talent is still there. I don't question Jahan Dotson's talent. I think there was a lot going on with the Commanders last year, whether it was the Sam Howell thing and Eric Bieniemy thing. I'm willing to give him another chance. The tangibles are still there for me. Ty Chandler, who I think is running back 1 in Minnesota. Khalil Herbert, who I think could still be the running back 1 in Chicago. Took quarterback 2, Deshaun Watson to pair with Njoku and Amari Cooper. Love the upside of Marvin Mims, especially if Jerry Jeudy is dealt. Elijah Mitchell as a handcuff. Noah Brown upside. Jonathan Mingo upside. Alexander Madison is a semi-handcuff to Ty Chandler, but could also be the running back 1 in Minnesota, question mark. Then Will Levis was an auto pick, but at that point, I wasn't thrilled with anybody on the board. And then took David Bell as a late round flyer. Who is Bucky Irving? You're talking our language here. Former Minnesota Gopher, transfer to Oregon, baby. He is a rookie running back. He has got great, quick pitter-patter speed. He hits some holes hard. But that dude, he's a tabletop man. Like, one of the things you spin on the top of the table, as soon as you bump that thing over, it falls over. That's my concern with Bucky Irving, is that he just doesn't have any contact balance. So as quick as he is, as quick as he hits holes, he just falls over. So, I mean, in a rookie draft, I don't hate it because I think a team might take a chance on him. And if Bucky Irving proves a thing or two in training camp on a running back needy team, he could find himself a nice role. There you go. I love Bucky. I should say I love Bucky Irving. I have my concerns with Bucky Irving, but the film is encouraging. I just don't think his best case scenario is a Devon Achane, and I don't think that's in his range of outcomes.
I agree.
Any final thoughts you have before we sign off here? I mean, we're an hour and 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just. I think best ball drafts are great too for your home leagues. I mean, obviously you don't have to do them in February. Just to get the feeling of, oh, this guy's going a lot higher than I thought he was going to, right? Or this guy's going way lower than I thought. I think if we were to start, I would have been shocked how high Rashee Rice is going in drafts right now. I mean,
late second round pick.
And so that it's just things like that I think you just need to do a couple drafts because then you can just see where everybody's going. And then obviously it's fun to have these teams that you just kind of set it, forget it. You can put whatever, $25 in. You can have 6 teams and then you just check it, in the end of the year and you see what you want. And I don't know. I enjoy that. That's for sure.
Yeah. No. And the wonderful thing is that if you do just want to throw $25 in, if you use the code fellas to sign up, Underdog is going to double that for you. So instead of only having 25 in your account, you're going to have 50 in your account. They'll do that all the way up to $100. So if you're actually like, hey, you know what? I can't throw 100 in right now. Just use that code fellas when you sign up. You'll find that in the description of any of the videos you are watching right now. And you will be able to get that first deposit match. So promo code fellas over there. You can get in on drafts like this if you want to test them out in February. If you also want to wait until, after the NFL draft towards the start of the regular season, I believe Best Ball Mania 5 is going to drop sometime in May. I can't confirm nor deny that as a police drives by my house. I don't know if you can hear that, but
that one we did hear.
That one you did hear. All right. Go police. No, promo code fellas at Underdog Fantasy. We'll be doing these drafts as long as they're open in the off season. We'll definitely start doing them closer to the start of the season as well. I don't have much else I want to add.
No, I think that's good.
You definitely got to get a feel for these drafts. So you got to join a few because I think some people are like, oh, again, I mentioned this earlier. We post them on social media. And they're like, that team stinks. It's like, all right, hop in a draft then. See how easy it is to build a dynamic roster. It's pretty dang hard when the ADPs are somewhat different compared to redraft league, just how early these wide receivers are going.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it comes down to is getting into it, getting the chalkboard, getting some live drafts with us. I don't know. I think it's And why not do it? It's fun to do it. It's not like you're studying for an ACT. You're just having fun.
And if you are, our blessings to you, because man, I'm happy I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's a good way to distract yourself from the ACT. How about that? Maybe we'll go that way instead. Devious Dog, appreciate y'all turning in.
Yep.
Z-Dude, Purrs, all y'all who are hanging out right now, we appreciate you all. Thanks for subscribing. If you are watching and you aren't subscribed already, make sure you do that. Turn on those notifications as well. We got some more content coming up for you the rest of this week. We got a podcast coming tomorrow. We got Dynasty tight end rankings coming out on Thursday. A lot of content coming for you all. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We enjoy hanging out with you all. We'll do more of these in the off season. We'll see you all next time. Deuces.
Deuce.